So today we're going to be looking at the MX Anywhere 3. Now this is a fantastic little travel mouse from Logitech, and I've been a big fan of their MX series for years now. On the desktop, I use the MX Master 3S mouse and I absolutely love it. It's an amazing mouse that's very ergonomic, but the only problem is it's not very portable. You wouldn't want to be chucking this in your bag every day. Now if you've got a laptop, you're going to want something a little bit smaller and more compact, and that's where this one comes in. So let's take a look at what we get inside the box. So here we go. This is the MX Anywhere 3, and this is the grey colour for PC. You can buy this for PC or for Mac, and in all fairness, you're getting exactly the same mouse and both will work with either. But if you buy the PC version, you get a USB dongle to plug into your PC. Now, there's no problem if you buy this version for the Mac, and you can still use this on the Mac, but most Macs these days have a USB-C port, and Logitech still don't make a USB-C receiver. So you just have to use it as Bluetooth on a Mac. Okay, underneath the box, we've got our USB to USB-C cable. And again, if you get the Mac version, you'll get a USB-C to USB-C for those Macs. And the USB-C connection goes straight into your mouse to charge this up for the internal chargeable battery. And you can use it whilst it is plugged in if you are out of battery. And we also get a little pamphlet telling you the products that are available, because obviously there's a whole range of MX problems, from ergonomic mice, keyboards, mechanical keyboards, loads to choose from. And then we've got a little safety guide and instruction manual. That is it. Okay, so first thing to do when you get your mouse is pull the sticker off the bottom to protect the feet. And we're away. So let's have a quick look around the mouse itself. Now this is the grey version. There are other colour options available. On the PC side, you can either have the grey, the black, or the pink. And on the Mac side, you get white. So plenty of colours to choose from. But I absolutely love this grey colour. I think this looks absolutely fantastic. Right, as usual with a mouse, you've obviously got your left and right clickers. They are quite noisy. Certainly no silent clicks like you get with the new MX Master 3S. We then get the scroll wheel, which is your typical, it's either got the slightly ratcheted scrolls, or you can press it fast to engage the mag speed scrolling, and you'll see it absolutely whiz away. So you can scroll right down along web pages. And in the actual software itself, you can change it to have it always on the mag speed scrolling. Behind the actual scroll wheel, we've got a customizable button that again you can customize in the software. We will look at that in a minute. If we look to the left side, you can see we've got the forward and backward buttons, and it's got a nice rubberized texture to make it very comfortable when you're holding this little mouse. And on the right side, you can see there's no buttons. This isn't an ambidextrous mouse. And again, we've got the nice rubber, which makes it very comfortable in your hand. Now, it is a smaller mouse, so if you're using it for prolonged use every day, you might find it a little bit of hand cramp, and that's where obviously its bigger brother comes in. If you're using a mouse at a desktop all day, I would definitely recommend getting the bigger mouse. But if you're on your laptop, you're doing a couple of hours here and there, coffee shops or out and about, this is so much easier to throw in a bag and take with you, and it's so much lighter as well. And if we turn it over, you can see we've got our 4 PTFE feet, the normal laser, we've got our on and off button. And as soon as I turn that on, you'll see the little light flashing here. This can be connected to multiple devices. You can see we've got 3 devices we can lock it to. So you can switch between 3 different PCs. That's a really handy little feature. And it can be connected via Bluetooth or one of the Logitech Nano receivers. Okay, just to quickly install the software and set it up, and we'll be back in seconds so we can see it working. So to prove a point, we've actually installed the software on my Mac, because this is the Windows version, and we're connected via Bluetooth from my Mac to the Logitech MX Anywhere. Now, as you can see in the Logitech options software, my MX Anywhere 3 is showing, and even on Bluetooth, the performance is really good. There's no lag, and it feels very responsive, so I'd have no problems working. Comfort-wise, this so far, I've been really enjoying the actual comfort of using this mouse. I thought it might be a bit cramped being so small, especially after being used to my massive MX 3S, but it's actually quite pleasant in your hand. So looking at the actual software itself, from the first page here on this actual mouse, we can configure the buttons. As you can see, if you click the button, you see we've got the middle button here. If I click it, I can change the actual action within this Logitech options for this mouse. Now, obviously I'm going to keep the middle mouse button the same, but the button behind is the wheel shift mode. So by default, it's ratcheted, and then if you spin it, it goes to the free spin mode. If you press the rear button behind the mouse, it will then just change it. So it's constantly on the free spin rather than going from ratchet to free spin when you push it. And then if you click it again, it goes back to ratchet. Now personally, I like the ratchet, and I like the fact that when I push it fast, it automatically moves using the smart shift to the free spin. So I'm going to change that middle button. You have a number of options you can use from this software. So in this case, I'm going to use mission control. Okay, and that is now, you can see I have a hover over it, mission control. So when I click it, mission control comes up. And as you can see, we've got the forward and backward buttons. I can click and I can customize those. And there's a number of options that you can do, which is really handy. You've obviously got your standard paste, next, forward, backwards. Then you've got app expose, desktop, minimize windows. Then you've got things like media controls. So there's an absolute ton of features that you can customize all of your buttons to. And the best thing with this Logitech options is you can do it per app as well. So rather than having it for the entire system-wide use, we can actually choose a profile per application. So as you can see, I've got nothing added in now, but if I go to my application here, I can choose any number of these and apply a different profile for each. Another handy feature at the very bottom here, you can see a little Bluetooth logo, which means I'm connected via Bluetooth. Obviously, if you're using the dongle, it will show you the actual nano receiver there instead. And then beside that, we've got the battery life indicator, so you can see how much battery life I've got. And then if I move across the menu bar at the top, you can see we've got a point and scroll bar. And from within here, we've got a number of options as well, such as the speed of the mouse pointer and the scrolling speed, the scrolling direction. And then we've also got things like enabling or disabling the smart shift. Now, I personally love the smart shift, but if you know you want to stick with the ratcheted or a free spin, you can just disable that. And then once you've disabled it, you can also then choose whether you want it to stay in free spin or to stay in ratchet. You can also adjust the scroll force, so how fast you have to push it to move from ratchet to the free spin. And then lastly, we've got a flow tab. Now personally, I don't use this, but if you've got a couple of computers and you want to use the one mouse or mouse and keyboard with both, you can use what's known as this flow to actually move from one to the other computer with just that same mouse without having to click the button underneath and change the control. It will do it seamlessly. Now personally, I would never use this, so I like to have my one mouse dedicated to the machine I'm using, and I'll click it if I want to use a different machine. This could be a really useful feature if you've got a number of machines you're working on currently on your desktop. Okay, so overall the software is absolutely excellent, but there's just one more thing I want to just quickly look at before we close this actual video. I just want to quickly show you the difference between the new Logitech MX Anywhere 3 and the previous 2 version. So here you can see this is again the grey, the colour is slightly different. And you can see the shape this year is very slightly different. There's a little bit more of a hump on it than previous years. And we've got a very slightly different design on the side. We've got ridged grooves this year, whereas in the previous MX2 we had the polygon type effect. Both of them are rubber, but I have to be honest, I prefer the feel of this year's grip to previous years. And the buttons are a slightly different shape on the sides, but they both work perfectly. Both have all the same feature sets, but I do feel this year's MX Anywhere 3 performs slightly better, especially on Bluetooth, than last year's model. And last year's model was still pretty good. So there we go, that is the Logitech MX Anywhere 3. This is a fantastic productivity mouse for when you're on the go. As you can see with my MacBook Pro 14, this is a great combination. This will slip nicely into a small laptop bag and it's not going to take up a lot of room, unlike its bigger brother. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you've got any questions, pop it in the comment section down below and I will get back to you. And lastly, thank you for watching.